Salvete omnes. This is Abbey Latin, Liber Primus, Chapter 2. This is a lesson on Exercise B, to be attempted after watching the video on syntax of Latin's nominative case and completing the English exercise for Chapter 2. To review, let's go over how to decline a Latin noun of the first declension. So we have poeta, I, masculine, poet. This is the dictionary entry, where poeta is the nominative singular, ae pronounced I, that's the genitive singular, this is the noun's gender, and this is the English definition. So go ahead and put the nominative singular in the nominative singular blank. Then that ae pronounced I, that's the genitive singular, put that in the genitive singular blank. All right, take off the ae pronounced I genitive singular ending to get the noun stem. The noun stem is poit, the unchanging part of the noun. So go ahead and write that down in the rest of the blanks. And now we add first declension endings, I, is, as, is, because poeta I masculine is a first declension noun. I can tell that by going to the genitive singular. Its genitive singular ending is ae pronounced I. If the genitive singular of a noun is ae pronounced I, it must be a first declension noun and must have first declension endings. I, ah, I, arum, is, as, is. So we get poeta, poetai, poetai, poetam, poeta, poetai, poetarum, poetis, poetas, poetis. All right, so slight review of nominative case, subjects, and predicate nominatives. So remember that Latin shows its syntax by the case endings. So we're going to be working a lot with the nominative case. First declension nouns, singular, end in a. So poeta, that's the poet. The poet does the action of the verb. The subject does the action of the verb. It could also be predicate nominative, a noun or an adjective that describes a subject with a linking verb. So we could say that someone is a poet. Poetai, that ae pronounced I, this is the nominative plural ending. So this is for putting an s on the end of the English noun. So poet, poets. The poet is doing the action. The poets are doing the action. He is a poet. They are poets. So you get to an English sentence and you want to find the subject. First, find your verb. The verb is, and it happens to be a linking verb, which acts like an equal sign. So we're saying that this thing equals this thing. So who is? Who is the poet? Ask yourself, who is doing the action of the verb? Who is? And the answer is the farmer. The farmer is doing the action of the verb. Farmer is the subject. In Latin, the subject is in the nominative case. So farmer will have the a ending, agricola. Then we have is, which is est in Latin. And then this is the predicate nominative, a noun or an adjective that gives more information or describes a subject with a linking verb. So poet, this would be in the nominative case in Latin as well because it's the predicate nominative. It's a noun, gives more information about the subject, the farmer, with a linking verb. We are saying that thing A equals thing B. Here's an example with a negation and also plural. So we have poets, plural, are not farmers, plural. Okay, ignoring the not, the negation for a sec. Linking verb is still are, that's still our verb. Who are? Who are not farmers? Well, that would be the poets. The poets are not farmers. So plural poets, that's the subject. Poets are not, predicate nominative, plural, farmers. So we are saying in this instance that thing A is not thing B. Still will be in the nominative case, the subject. Predicate nominative will still be in the nominative case. Just these are going to be plural, these are going to be singular. All right, let's try our hand at the exercise. So exercise B. We're to go through and fill out the subject, the linking verb, and the predicate nominative in the following 3 Latin sentences. So we'll start with sentence 1 because it's the first one. Poetae sunt agricolae. Poetae sunt agricolae. All right, so we have poetae. So first thing we should do is Latin shows its syntax based on the endings, not so much the word order, but the endings. So poetae, poetae, we're going to check out that ending, poetae. Didn't we just decline that noun? I think we did. So poetae, that was the nominative plural. Nominative, the reason for nominative shows the subject. So it seems like the poets are doing the action of the verb. So poetae, the subject. Our verb, sunt, that's are, that's a linking verb. And then let's check out the ending for agricolae. Agricola means farmer, agricolae masculine. That AE pronounced I ending, let's see, agricola is the singular farmer and agricolae would be plural farmers. So plural nominative. What's the other reason for the nominative case? We have subject and the predicate nominative. So poetae sunt agricolae. The poets are farmers. The poets are farmers. Sentence 2. Gallia est provincia. Gallia est provincia. Okay, so let's see. Our Gallia, Gallia, with the A ending. Nominative singular. The reason for nominative is the subject. So go ahead and write Gallia right here in the subject blank. Est. Est is our linking verb. Go ahead and write est right here, and it's singular. So singular Gaul is, and then provincia, it's got that a, nominative singular ending. So nominative singular subject, nominative singular predicate nominative. You should write Gallia est, and provincia is the predicate nominative. Translation, Gaul is a province. Remember that Latin has no definite or indefinite articles, or at least classical Latin does not. So you could say Gaul is a province or Gaul is the province, and that depends upon context. Context is key. Sentence 3, sunt epistulae. Sunt epistulae. Okay, well, sunt we know is a linking verb, but here, if est or sunt is the first word of a Latin sentence, those are typically known as existential est or existential sunt. That means that you are saying something existential exists. So something is there. Est, there is a singular nominative subject. Sunt, there are plural nominative subject. So here we have existential sunt. There are plural nominative subject. Check out the ending for epistulae. There are plural nominative subject letters. There are letters. So think about the English sentence, there are letters. Don't get confused. A lot of the times I have students who think that there is the subject, there are letters, are is the linking verb, and epistulae is the predicate nominative. I get that a lot. There is not the subject. They get confused because they think goes by word order, that the subject has to come first, then the linking verb has to come next, and then the predicate nominative has to come next. And that's not always the case. There is not the subject. The letters, that's the subject, because you ask yourself, well, what's there? And the answer, the subject, letters. So sunt epistulae. There is no predicate nominative in sentence 3. You have your verb sunt, and then the subject is epistulae. Translation, there are letters. All right, for sentences 4, 5, and 6, we have somewhat switched gears. Now we have English sentences that we're going to turn into Latin. So you're going to do pretty much the same process, just in reverse. So the province is Britannia. The province is Britannia. So I'm going to find my verb, and the verb is, and I'm going to ask myself, well, What is Britannia? What is it? Britannia is a province. So that would be shown by the Latin provincia. Provincia. If this is the subject, has to have the nominative singular ending, provincia. Linking verb is, that is the Latin est. And then what is the province? What is it? Which one is it? Well, that would be the predicate nominative Britannia, Britannia. And the nominative singular predicate nominative of Britannia is Britannia. You guessed it. So provincia, nominative singular, est Britannia, nominative singular, altogether, provincia est Britannia. All right, the farmers are poets. The farmers are poets. So find our subject. To do that, we find our verb are. It's a linking verb. Ask yourself, well, who are the poets? Who are they? Answer, the farmers. Farmers, that's your subject. So notice it's plural. If it's the subject, it must be in the nominative case in Latin. So we want the nominative plural. You can run through your declension. Agricola, agricolae, agricolae, agricolam, agricola, agricolae, AE pronounced I, agricolae. So in this blank, write agricolae with the AE. Are, well, are, that is the plural of est, and that is sunt, sunt, so agricolae sunt. And then poets, poets is going to be a predicate nominative. This is the subject, this is the linking verb, this is the predicate nominative. So that's going to be in the, wait for it, nominative case. Very good. And then poets makes it plural. So plural nominative. We declined poeta earlier, and we got poetae, poetae for the nominative plural. So agricolae sunt poetae. Agricolae sunt poetae. All right, and sentence 6. There is water. There it is. It's right there. Okay, look at that sentence. It's like there are letters. Sentence 3. So there is water. The subject is not there. The verb is. That is the verb. That is the linking verb, or the existential est. Ask yourself, what is there? What is? Water. If you were to ask yourself, what is water? The answer is not there. What is water? It's there. Wait, what? What is there? That's the water. The water is there. The water is doing the action of the verb. It is there. It exists there. Water is the subject. So what is the nominative, because it's the subject, singular for water? That is the Latin aqua. Aqua, with the A ending, singular A, aqua. And then there is going to be est. So make sure that when you write it in your translation, you're going to write est first, because existential est and existential sunt, they come first. So est aqua. Est aqua. There is water. Kind of a tricky one at the end. Est aqua. Optime. Very well done. Make sure you understand the first declension, how to decline a Latin noun of the first declension. You understand the subject and the predicate nominative. Excellent. Very well done. Valete omnes.